before we tackle the raised beds in the garden, I just need to check in on the bees this week. Now, I got my hive secondhand and I wanted to, pretty it up, pimp it up for the girls. So I bought I'm going to call it a landing strip, but it's a block of wood that sits on the front of the hive just below the entrance. I don't know if it offers the bees any help. I thought it's going to look nice, but when I'm having a cup of tea and I'm just observing the bees, if they're walking along the little deck, it'd be nice to see them, chilling, walking in. Also, the bees that go out of the hive are forager bees, and they're all female. And their job is to go out and forage for nectar, and they come back with little pollen baskets on their back legs, which you'll see later when we visit the bees. You can see the different coloured pollen on their legs as they go in and out of the hive. I also got a gabled roof. So when you think of a beehive, I always think of like the triangled roof, kind of pretty ones. Now, gabled roofs are not actually practical. I'm a hive helper once a week where I help out at an apiary just to get a bit of experience because they have way more hives, they have 10. And the chap was saying that while the gabled roofs look really pretty, when you take off the roof and later in summer, if you're lucky, you may have boxes of honey on top. And when you remove those boxes, it's easier to stack things on a square, flat roof. Whereas the gabled roofs, you can't stack anything on it. So sometimes they can be a bit impractical. But I think they look really pretty. So while I just have the one hive, it's okay. I could be a little bit impractical. The only thing I did this week with the bees was to check if they were hungry. It was raining in the previous week. And while there was some sunny spots for the bees to kind of get out, I was just concerned that they've gone from a nuke to a hive, and there was lots of eggs when I checked last. So those babies are going to be hatching soon and they're going to be hungry. So with the weather being bad, I gave them a top up of some syrup and then I just let them be. I love growing cut flowers in the raised beds. And this bed was looking beautiful in spring. It was full of white tulips and then early flowering daffodils. There's a couple of camassias in it then. So this is the foliage. All of the tulip foliage kind of just rotted away nicely. With spring bulbs, it is advised to let the foliage go yellow, let the goodness go back into the bulbs. So they say the good professional horticulturists to deadhead your daffodils and your tulips. Let the goodness go back into the bulb, let the foliage go yellow, and then you can tidy it up. I've been looking at this messy bed for the past couple of weeks. So it is time I got around to tackling it. And also, while sometimes, yes, it's nice to leave all the bulbs to go yellow, a lot of us are working around our own schedules as well. So today was the only day that I had to do this in the garden. So I am clearing it out, and I mulched this back in autumn with leaves from the trees. So I mowed the leaves so that they were a bit thinner and I popped them on top. And there's hardly any weeds in here. I think there's about 3 dandelions that managed to get in. But normally when I don't mulch a place or a surface, it will be full of weeds. So mulching does work. I'm going to be planting zinnias in here. There's also there's actually a tree dahlia in the left hand corner. There's another dahlia in the middle. I'll just leave it. It came back. I forgot it was there. And I'm going to plant in zinnias that I have sown from seed. So back in, I think, March time. although the weather wasn't great. Not all of them germinated, but I did get some germination. I also use these little brown compostable pots. So if you're like me and you hate thinning out seeds, you can just plant these directly into the soil and the little compostable pot will just compost. How many times have I said compostable in the last 2 minutes? I'd love to know, are you more of a veg grower in your garden? Do you mix them in? I think there's a name for that, isn't there? A potager, is it? I'm not saying that right. I think there's a name for a French kitchen garden where you mix in perennials with your vegetables and it all looks really pretty. I was thinking where the bees are, I could do a small little patch for some veg because where my bees are, I have some space to do that. And then the other apiary that I visit, they also grow some veg there as well, just on some small raised beds. And I was like, okay, you don't really need a lot of space to grow your veg. To be honest, I just grow like things that I eat a lot. So like lettuce, onions. I hate growing tomatoes because they always die on me. But we have had lots of rain, so maybe I feel like I always forget to water them. But yeah, are you a cut flower grower or are you a veg grower or are you both? Hello, that's the noise of my washing machine, but I want to go to the garden centre And we know around here, you don't need an excuse to go to the garden centre. Well, one, I'm procrastinating because I do need to sow seeds into the other raised flower bed where the sunflowers used to be. But this year, for the past, I'm gonna say maybe 3 years, I had self-seeding sunflowers. But I wonder, was the winter too wet and the seeds rotted? Because only one sunflower is in the bed. I did plant some other sunflower claret, like red ones and miniature ones from seed. Not all of them germinated, but I had planned for them to be in the front of the garden. But anyway, I need to get some shady plants for pots because my entrance to my house is shaded and all of the pots look disgraceful. So I'm like, okay, if I can go to Garden Centre and just have a look for some of them. I got two Jack Frost's, what are they called? Something Jack Frost. My favourite little plant. My favourite shady plant. Don't know why I can't think of the name. My regular viewers don't know the one I'm on about. Brunnera. I already have loads of heucheras in that area, so I might get like a small little, what are they called, Diopsis or little fern, shady fern. But I want to get some evergreen stuff for around the door. And I have pots at the front of my house and they're gappy. So some of the stuff from last year came back, like the wallflower and the wallflowers. The bacopa didn't come back, but I think that's an annual. It was an annual in my garden last year anyway. So I need to get some stuff to sort out my pots. My pots looked, if you saw the last garden video from 2 Sundays ago, you'll know I did the front little border and that is looking lovely. But when I pull up to the driveway, I've got half a little bag of mulch left, which I want to clear that bag and tidy that up because I'm sure my neighbours are like, this one has had mulch in her driveway since February and it's June now. Yes, I have. And yeah, if I can tidy the pots in the front. I feel like my front garden is now a garden after getting the raised beds in the front. I feel like the past couple of years I've focused a lot in the back, but now I feel like I have a little extra space in the front, which is the raised beds and the pots. The mini no-dig meadow has got some growth on it, but it's not what I anticipated it was going to look like. So I'll give you a little update on that. But yeah, let's go to the garden centre purely because I just want to go. It's also, yesterday the footage was sunny and it was a Sunday. And what happens on a sunny Sunday? Everybody goes to the garden centre. So yesterday I was like, oh, I really want to go. But I was like, no, I will go tomorrow, first thing in the morning, when the garden centre is just open, there's no people, and I can just, it's like I need to hear my thoughts when I'm thinking. And when it's too busy in the garden centre, people get under your feet, I can't think, I end up buying stuff I don't need or not buying anything at all. No, so I am a Monday morning go to the garden centre kind of person. When I'm in business, when I want to buy stuff. Anyway, enough waffling. Yeah, have you bought anything nice for the garden lately, or have you grown from seed? Have you treated yourself to anything in your garden? I love hearing if people have found like a lovely plant that fits an area for them, or if they've like treated themselves to like, I don't know, a new pot or a piece of furniture or something. So yeah. I also need to get caffeinated, which I can do that at the garden centre. I think I'm going to go out to the one in Ratoath. Myself and Karen were there on the day of my book was out to the world. Thursday, was it the 8th of May? Anyway, we went there on the way home from Trim. And again, I was busy because there were school holidays. So I felt like I couldn't enjoy it. But it's Monday morning, everybody's in work. We can go to the garden centre in peace. I am on a mission to visit every garden centre there is on this island. So please do leave your garden centre suggestions in the comment section. This is Ratoath Garden Centre and there was a really good mix of plants here. Straight as you walked in, lots of bedding plants, then a lovely section for perennials. I love that they always have pond plants here. Sometimes it can be hard getting pond plants. Good section for shrubs and small trees as well. They also have a coffee shop here. I just got a takeaway coffee today, but I have eaten here with Karen in the past. And if you're like me and you like somewhere that's quiet in the morning, if you're meeting up with pals for a cup of tea, cafe opens at 10 a.m. and it wasn't that busy. Obviously that'll be different with the summer holidays and with people being off, but it's a nice hidden gem if you are meeting up with someone for a coffee. It's in a nice location as well, so it's not too far off the N2 and it's on a lovely little back road as well. So yeah, I give this one, should I start doing garden centre reviews and rate them out of 10? I don't like rating them out of 10 because it feels quite mean, but this one is up there with one of my faves. There's also a secret garden walk out the back of the garden centre. I didn't get any footage today, but if you scroll back a couple of videos, back in May, I got some footage of the garden. Okay, time for a little plant haul, and yes, I ended up buying stuff that wasn't on my planting list. I have not gone out with shade friendly plants. I've come out with stuff to fill the buckets in the front. This is the messy area that I was telling you about, so I have some mulch that I am just at the bottom of now, so that has to, I want to get rid of this, but actually all the plants are looking lovely here. You might hear some bees in the background. Hang on, let me move around. Hydrangea Annabelle is looking lovely, obviously because of all the lovely rain we've had. Lovely yellow rose has opened. I've got another rose here. The Achillea is getting ready to flower. Some Aquilegias are just on the flump. I think I'm going to cut them back because I have loads of self-seeding Aquilegia. I don't need any more. A few Aegeum in there that they're from cuttings from not last year, the year before. Doing well. And then up here above us, a lovely buddleia that is in flower. Also, this is the shady pots. So I have 1, 2, 3 pots with nothing but self-seeded trees in them. 4. These love the shade, so that's happy. They also love the bit of dry shade as well. They do have like little, they have been flowering. So what have I got here? I have some Brunner Jack Frosts for the pots. I have, oh, this is lovely Senecio, but this is for a barrel in the front. A Rudbeckia, again, that's for the front. I'm starting to pick things that will have late summer colour, so like August time. So I left some gaps in the front for Rudbeckia. This is a salvia, and again, it's for the front because it loves the sun, and I'm going to stick it in one of the barrels for a bit of height. I've got another salvia. I've got this teeny tiny dahlia down here. Let me see, hang on. I know shaky camera footage is quite annoying. There is no name on this, which is quite frustrating, but if you pause the video and if you take a screenshot and Google search the image, it may come up what the variety is. I just got it purely because I love that speckledy leaf. I got a few of that oriental poppy with a lovely peach flower, and that is for the front raised bed border, just to add like a bit of colour, and it is perennial. I have some autumn colour, which I know. What are you thinking of autumn, girl? We barely got summer. But I'm just thinking ahead of plants that will have some colour in like August and September. Have some sneezeweed, should be another Rudbeckia in there. I also got this Alchemilla mollis, and this is for the barrel to add a bit of fullness. I picked up a couple of snapdragons because I don't know why I didn't grow them from seed this year. And bacopas, oh sorry, I have some bacopas in here. There's another oriental poppy, and I did get a lupin and some tall nepeta. So I don't know if you can see there. So a lot of the plants I got are for all of these buckets and containers in the front. I have some pots that have random things in it, some have nothing, some have dead things. So I need to do a job on the front, which will probably be for another video. Also, wildflower patch update. So I have had some growth, but not amazingly. This is the no dig mini meadow, we could call it. So some have grown through the cardboard. There's a little one there actually. But you can see there's loads of seedlings. But then I only have some kind of growth here. So I think I'll give it a couple more weeks. But maybe this could be dug over for a little raised bed. I don't know. I've got enough raised beds going as it is, but it was a nice little experiment. I'll see what it's like throughout kind of summer. But yeah, there's a couple plants growing there. But yeah, I do think I probably should have dug it over. So I'm not sure if the no dig worked for this one. I feel like my neighbourhood is very noisy. There's a bit of drilling going on. I don't know if that's house renovation or if they're digging up a road, but I hope you can hear me. We will come back to another video and I will do some satisfying pot tidying up, and hopefully they will look nice for the rest of the season. And all I'll have to do is add a few bits coming into autumn. Have a few more seeds in the greenhouse that I'm probably going to put into this bed here. Look, there's my one sunflower. See it? One. If you look back on older videos, you would see that this was full of sunflowers. But I was like, you know what, maybe it was time for a change. Maybe Mother Nature wants something else in here. So I think I have cosmos and zinnias. So I think I'm going to do a bed of cut flowers for them. Also, I just wanted to finish off with a little update, just in case you were wondering why you haven't seen me on the telly slot since I think it was Bloom. So the last Friday in May, wasn't it? 30th? Anyway, so I've had to just pause doing the telly slot for now with Ireland. With my mum being sick, I've had to create gaps in my calendar, my schedule. So I needed to just free up space and cut back on kind of extra commitments. So just in case you were wondering if I had, you know, stopped doing it or anything like that, I've had to just pause any extra things for the next couple of weeks, months, I'm not sure, because the last thing I want to do is take on things and then I have to cancel last minute. So yeah, I'm still tipping away and working behind the scenes and stuff, but yeah, anyone who has someone who's sick in the family knows kind of how hard it is to make commitments when you have like uncertainty. But anyway, day by day we move. Apologies for that noise. If you've been to the garden centre this week, I want to know what you bought. I am so nosy when I'm walking around the garden centre. I'm looking in people's trolleys and I'm like, what are they after buying? Also, big respect for people who can go into the garden centre and come out with 1 or 2 plants. I can't do that. Anyway, I'll see you in the next one. If you are new to my channel, or if you haven't been around in a while and you want more garden videos, I have a playlist on my channel that is just for the gardening content. So if you want to see my journey from going from a square patch of grass in the front and the back to my attempt at a cottage garden, then check out the Cottage Garden playlist. I'll pop a card here and also in the description box as well. Don't forget to hit subscribe if you're new, and like and comment and say hello to the community in the comment section below.